Good.
Let's get smashed. I thought it was supposed to be whip it real good.
I'm getting smashed on the Arizona Red raspberry iced tea this stream, so we'll see how hyper or just like passed out I get shortly into this.
I'm out of Diet Coke or Pepsi. Kentucky Fried Chicken doesn't have Coke. They have Pepsi.
It's like Costco. They only have like Sprite and Pepsi, and I'm a Coke guy, and I'm like, no, it's Sierra Mist or something like similar like that. I'm like, yeah, no, give me my.
Oh, but it's just like 7-Up. No, it's not.
No, if I'm going to drink 7-Up, I might as well just take some seltzer water and dump some sugar packets in there.
Man, so bitter.
Yes.
How can you be so young and so bitter?
Dude, I lived with grandma for 4.5 years. I picked up on the old bitterness, and then, you know, I'm just exuding it out for like the rest of my life. I'm not going to like hate the world.
Now, one of these days, she's going to be watching your stream. She's going to hear you say that. And Calvin! You hater!
Oh, gosh.
I see we got Rover in the house. We got Wellbot. How you guys doing?
Oh, man. Okay, sorry, guys, if I'm going to be a little bit out of it this stream. Once a few more people get in here, I'm going to kind of go into the details of what's up. But let's just say things in life went from sort of crazy to just like downright insane at this point.
So you've got an announcement you're going to be making tonight?
Yeah, I got a couple of announcements I'm going to be making.
Just remember, you know, no matter what, I still love you. You know, I know what weekend. I know what's happening this weekend up there where you're at. So you know, I'm here to support you, man. I know it's hard to make these kind of announcements.
Dude, the viewership on this is just gonna go. Oh. No, it's not what Jimmy's implying. That was darn funny, I gotta admit.
You know you're going to that parade.
Actually, I'm not even going to be in town for that.
Oh, that's right, you are you?
And that ties into later on. I'd explain why I might slightly alter my plans, but we'll see.
Hello, Aunt Nancy. How you doing? So stoked with what Heather did. What did Heather do?
So I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but Wellbot, because he lives down under in Straya, and Straya has ridiculously exorbitant shipping rates for the, I think it's the Friday 3D chat thing. Wellbot had his own little tile that he wanted to print, but shipping it was going to be so expensive. So Heather from Apira Design, the other half of it, she printed up his with like his logo on it and is mailing it off to him. Good example of 3D printing, you know, allowing somebody in one country to design something that gets manufactured in another, so you don't have to, you know, deal with exorbitant shipping. Let me find the tweet.
Give him a wrench, for goodness sakes. Come on. Why are you so stingy with the wrenches?
Because I am a hater. That's why. You know, I just
slap a wrench in Wellbot's hand. He needs a wrench.
I gave him a wrench. Okay, you wrenched Danielle last time, and I wrenched Wellbot this time.
Okay.
Here, I'll link to the tweet anyways.
So check out what I printed.
Give me a second. Jumping back on.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
What is the print time on that guy?
20 millimeters tall. Here, I'll set it on my shoulder for comparison. So this right here is a low poly Dino. It's the T-Rex from 3D Print Professor. Print Professor. Did a pretty good job on modeling that. You know that? No supports whatsoever. And the thing printed great.
Well, especially considering that most models, when they're designed with no supports, they're intended to be done in that print size. Then when you go bigger, you sometimes run into issues. That is seriously impressive.
Yes, it's the Gigasaurus Rex. Oh, yeah. In case anybody hasn't subscribed to him or checked out his channel, he's doing a Kickstarter starting, I believe, this week. I want to say Friday,
2 days
might be
away.
Thursday, huh?
2 days away. I think his release of that coincides with the new Jurassic Park coming out.
Ah,
According to him,
coincidence? I think not.
he says it is. We'll never know. You know.
I'm definitely going to support him.
Definitely. I have to say, after meeting the guy, he's definitely one cool guy. And the fun thing was, when I was down in SoCal a couple of days ago, like last week technically, I was hanging with Danielle and we were editing up some of her trip footage. And it was funny because we were talking about Maker Fresh. Joe was awesome. He just was like super nice and really funny and everything. I'm like, yeah, Jimmy wasn't kidding. He actually in person is a hilarious guy. Just the passion and the exuberance that he exudes from. It's like being around you. You're somebody who's passionate about what you do, but he takes that almost to like a whole nother level of, just like wanting to get prints in people's hands and wanting to get them a 3D printer, and just making 3D printable and making accessible to everybody, that's just like what he is so passionate about. And there's my Joe impression.
He is. He's very passionate about it. What's wrong? You're zoning out, man.
No, I'm replying to the
worried about you, Calvin.
My ninja hands, okay? You can't see them, but things.
I know that. I know that you're. I know that you got this huge announcement. There's a lot of stuff on your mind coming out this weekend. It's all right, man. It's all right.
You suck. The big announcement, everybody, is I'm still straight.
So far.
Oh!
Oh my.
Oh God.
Oh goodness. How many people we got in here now?
7.
Okay, that's about right.
So Rover was asking, did I get my MRI files? Yes, I did. And the MRI place was really nice. And the first disc was free. Every disc after that was $5. I'm like, that's fine. But no, I got the disc and I got the files, and I have the software, which actually was made by the government of Brazil and then released to anybody who wanted to use it, that pretty much does photogrammetry with your MRI images to create a 3D model that you can actually export as an STL. The only problem is the MRI images are a little bit grainy, so there's a ton of artifacts that show up in there. And part of that actually relates to, they suspect, a previous surgery or two that I've had, but some of it's just like artifacts that just show up, period, in an MRI. So I think if they'd done a CT scan of my knee, it would have been a higher quality image, but I'm still going to see what I can do with it just for giggles and grins sake. But at this point, it's more or less like, well, I got the disc just because I wanted to have my own personal copy of it. So if I go to see a doctor, I can be like, hey, here's the disc of my knee. Here's, that whole thing. But I need to try and take those images or that file and then make it into something printable. But I got to figure that out. And I don't want to go releasing the source file because that obviously has a lot of personal medical information associated with it. But I'm going to see what I can do with the images to try and make something usable.
But with that said, this is kind of the intro into what you're getting ready to talk about, I believe.
Yeah. So
not always good in the neighborhood. Let's just say that.
No. So for all you guys who, I genuinely appreciate your concern about my knee, here's what's up with it. I actually was able to get the MRI report from the doctor and from the radiology place, and then the doctor as well. And the news is good, and the news is not so good. And the good news is it seems like the structure of my knee is actually doing better than I thought. and it doesn't seem like there's anything massively wrong with it. But one of the issues that they pointed out is they suspect there's either a bone growth or a cartilage growth or both that are coming out of my knee. I know it's not the same thing, but it's like the equivalent of like a bone spur where your body's trying to correct something, so it puts protrusion out there to try and, you know, prop something up. And that could be causing me some of the issues. The other thing that they suspect is there might actually be some leftover particles in my knee and more my leg still in that vicinity from when I had a rod that ran through my leg, and then I had 2 pins installed as well, because when you go in for an MRI, people like me who work around metal, I actually, when I got called by the MRI place, I'm like, hey, you know, I work with metal. Do you guys need me to come in for an x-ray on my eyeballs just to make sure if there's the metal in there? They're like, yes, please do. Can you come in now? I'm like, be there in 20 minutes. So that came back clear. But when you're going in for an MRI, you actually have to check a box that says, I, to the best of my knowledge, don't have any metal fragments in me from like war or industrial accidents or things like that. Because obviously metal plus a big magnet, not a good day. At the worst case scenario, it's very unlikely, but it could get pulled out. What's actually more common is the magnetic field will actually cause what's in there to inductively heat up, which can be very uncomfortable and potentially burn you. So, you know, that's why they're pretty careful about that. But it was interesting and a little bit spooky as well that they noted that on the thing, because I had absolutely no clue. I'd had prior MRIs after my surgeries, and they'd never gone, oh, hey, yeah, looks like you got metal fragments still on your knee. And I'm like, oh, good to know. I didn't know about that. So that makes things definitely interesting. So beginning of next week, I'm seeing a doctor down where my parents are about my knee while I'm, you know, not busy with school. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But that's what's up with that. So things have definitely been crazy here. So if things get a little bit, you know, iffy with videos and stuff, the main reason why is partly because of me being out of town, and then, you know, that sort of stuff. But I'll see what I can do for you guys. But it's definitely an interesting turn of events with my knee. So I'm thinking, and I'm no expert, but I'm thinking that part of the reason why my knee might get so swollen is because my body is trying to potentially, and this is me speculating, potentially trying to reject the metal particles that are floating around in there. I have absolutely no clue if that's the case or not. It could be completely unrelated, but it's a speculation that I have. So we'll see.
Believe me, it's a speculation that the doctor has too. The reason why he's wanting to see you so quick. What is that called whenever you get metal in your blood? Metallosis, I believe it's called.
Might be.
Whenever it's caused by implants, stuff like that, where it slowly kind of deteriorates, and it's a good chance, a good possibility that they may be testing you for that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, this from what I remember, the doctor saying the implants were all titanium, because when it came time to remove them, they were a bear to get out, because titanium, when they make the parts, they anodize it so it actually has a porous surface, so your tissue actually grows into it, and so it becomes a part of your body, and it's so commonly used. But yeah, we'll be figuring out. This doctor is completely different, though. He's actually an orthopedic specialist, not my regular GP that I saw down there that my parents go to. But we'll see about all that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the one you want to see, because he'll tell you exactly what's going on.
Let's hope.
He'll say, "Okay, I got an opening in 2 days. You want to go ahead and get this taken care of?" Oh.
And yeah, my knee just popped, if you guys are wondering, and that really hurt.
I heard it.
Dude, I was editing and I went to move my knee, and there was this like, and Danielle's like, is that your knee? I'm like, I plead the fifth, but if it was, she goes, dude, that's scary.
Oh, but the doctors say that's nitrogen bubbles.
I've gone scuba diving and I didn't get the bend, so.
Hey, Jesse, Justin House, how you doing? Mr. Carol Science.
We've got Mr. One of these days we're gonna do live tech support with him. That'd be fun if he's down.
Yeah.
Now, he said what people would generally do is they will scan the image, trace it out, extrude a millimeter or however thick each slice was, and then print each layer and glue it to make a model of something, which is actually an interesting thought. I was hoping to do photogrammetry with my knee, and I'm almost wondering if there's a way that somebody with Photoshop could literally just take and trace out all of the images, and then, or I could even try doing it in Inkscape, and just throw away everything that you don't need around the edges and just take those traces and make those their own images and put them into photogrammetry software and go, and there's your model. If you guys do want to see what the images look like, I might be able to take them so they don't have any of the personal information on them, put them into a Google Drive folder, and if you guys can do something from there, you know, that might be interesting.
See if Joe can do a low poly version of it.
You guys can sell low poly versions of my knee as like a
your knee,
and you guys can do like a fundraiser for if I have a surgery to like get well thing. I'll just be like, oh geez, no.
Well, I honestly thought you had more of an announcement to make tonight.
Well, I'm going to get into that in a second, but I was making my knee announcement first because that's like what everybody was all like, yeah, what's up with your knee? For like all the last few streams. So figured I'd get that one out of the way first.
I thought you were going to say, Jimmy, there's something I got to tell you.
I already said that.
I'm joking. I knew that wasn't what it was.
He knows what's up. He's just having way too much fun yanking my chain as always.
I was listening to down here. I have on the AM. You can listen to that new 74 KCBS. They're up in San Francisco, and so I knew exactly what's happening this weekend up there. There's a reason why I had to tease you about it.
I knew this was gonna happen. I knew it, and then I was just like, "Great, yeah, I'm just gonna roll with it." So going back to the chat, which you totally ignored, Calvin. Alkish1 says, "I can always."
You're careful about the chat, you hater.
Gosh. Alkish1 says, "I can always turn your knee into a proto-gnome model." Oh gosh, this is just
do it.
Okay, I haven't forgotten about the images of my face, Lobot. I just haven't had time to take a bunch of selfies like a narcissist yet. So sorry about that. I'm gonna work on that soon though, because I do want to do Calvin the Tank Engine just to like irritate everybody. I'll send you the model that I want to stick it on as well, just for kicks.
Jeff saying, "Are you going to shave your head, Calvin?"
No, not yet. I'm not going Hare Krishna yet. Don't worry. Ooh, okay. So the other announcement, okay, this is technically bigger than the knee one, but I was waiting for more people to get in here. And
what? It gets better?
Yeah, it gets better, hater. So this
hopefully it gets better. My goodness.
Yeah. No, so this ties into some other stuff. This kind of is like all lumped into. No, I'm not moving to Florida yet. Although I had some really good friends out there, and I wouldn't mind doing it if it wasn't so hot. No, so what I was thinking, what I was going to say was, if you guys don't know, I applied like eons ago to go to San Francisco State's industrial design program. And then because of the weird way some schools' application programs work if your transfer is, as of right now, God forbid something happens, which I don't think it will, but I'm just, saying that as a disclaimer. I have been accepted into the industrial design bachelor of science design program. Yeah, let me go run around the house and knock on everything wood. Okay, we're good.
The shelf behind you. On that printer.
Okay, we're good. We're good. I think I knocked on all the wood around me. No, so I got accepted into their Bachelor of Science Industrial Design program. And if you guys don't know, I've been going to college on and off for years, thinking, am I ever going to use all 50, literally tons and tons of college units that I had taken? Every time I'd see a counselor, they'd look at me and go, how many classes have you taken? Like flipping through the pages of transcripts, like, you still don't have a degree yet? I'm like, not yet, but I'm working on it. They're like, well, congratulations. Yeah, you barely got anything you need to take. And I'm like, cool. So that starts in the fall. But the thing is, the bummer is because the house that I'm living in is my grandmother's house is slowly in the process of everything being moved out to be sold. I'm gonna have to move into a dorm, and obviously dorms don't have a lot of room. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do. Show like channel related. I'm not. My goal is not to just like shut down the channel completely and just be like, okay, thanks, bye guys. I'm not sure how crazy busy I'm gonna be or not. I don't know if I'll be able to film, say, in like a design lab or something. I definitely am not sure what the future scope of the channel is going to be because obviously I'm not going to be able to bring all my 3D printers, can't bring all my CNC machines, darn well can't take my welding equipment with me. A lot of the stuff that I have will not be here. And over the next few weeks, you guys are going to notice like the shelving behind me that the printers are on is going to go. These things which held up the train layout, which is in the garage, are going to go. You know, you're going to notice the set changing over time as things get moved out of here, or I'm, you know, boxing things up and moving it out. So what I'm thinking of doing is related to that, maybe doing some videos about like how to pack and store equipment, how to pack and move things. If you guys are interested, kind of tie that whole what's going on, current events into that. But then when that whole school thing starts up, I'm not exactly sure what equipment I'm going to have, what I'm going to have access to, what I'm going to have time to do. But I'm going to try and find time, depending upon what my schedule is, to at least do streaming with Jimmy. And then maybe, you know, just do design videos or updates about how things are going. I'm not exactly sure, so I'm not going to say, oh, this is the schedule I'm going to stick to. But I might have to drop back to doing one video a week. We'll see. It all depends upon time here. But yeah, that's the big thing that's up. So that's the other thing. But then the problem with that is because of the moving stuff and the knee stuff and everything like that, my time is just going like, where did the time go? What? So yeah.
Yes, vlog your road trip. There you go.
I was actually going to say when I'm doing the next U-Haul load of stuff, I am definitely going to be shooting a time lapse of driving that thing down from San Francisco down to my parents' house, just because it is an interesting drive, and hopefully it won't all be at night because then you won't be able to see much. But it's definitely something that I want to do, just, you know, vlog it and time lapse it and fun things like that.
Well, Bot says, woot, yay, Calvin Witt. Jeff is saying early congrats.
Thanks, guys.
I would tell you congratulations, but I already told you like 2 weeks ago.
I know. I was waiting until I knew definitively before I made like a giant, oh yeah, and then I figured out it wasn't, you know, I just wanted to make sure before I made a big announcement and then look like a total idiot when it turns out there was some error and it wasn't the case. So that's the only reason why I was hesitant and kept it like really on the DL only with certain people at first, and then I made it more of a public announcement. But then again, for some, I'm weird. For big things like this, it's like I'm the world's worst person at notifying everybody. And then little things like, oh yeah, I treated a friend some labor for this locomotive. It's like all plastered over social media. I'm weird like that. So you know what I mean.
Mr. Carroll Science says he's really happy for you, Calvin. Working hard pays off. Just watch out for those student loans. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I'm not going to go into the details of it, but I am thankful that I am able to financially do it without taking out student loans. But I definitely am going to look into seeing if there's any kind of little grants, scholarships, anything like that that I can get that would help offset what would need to be paid, you know, just to see what there is, if there's anything that's, you know, easy to get. Say there's like a grant to cover, you know, up to X amount of dollars in software or something. Not apply for it, you know. It doesn't hurt, but at the same time, it's not like I'm like, ooh, oh, do I have enough money? So thankfully, I'm not in that position, but I definitely want to be frugal about going to school and see just how much, how much I can get, for a discount or, you know what I mean. It doesn't hurt. It's free. It just takes time to apply, and you never know.
Just watch out for finding a sugar daddy up there, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not going that route. I think it'll more be like me calling up, like, can I crash in your camper on the weekends?
Yeah.
I'll edit your videos for you.
Come down here for the weekends.
So on this week's episode of Calvin Goes to Salinas.
You gotta say it right, man. If you're gonna come living down here, it's Salinas, man.
I need my nanas fix. Okay, I actually.
Oh man, that baked potato was so good the other day. Oh man.
Yeah, for those who never have been to Nana's is like the paella at Maker Faire. It's just like one of those things that you look at and you go, "That's great," until you eat it, and then you're like, "Oh, that's really good. I need more of that."
It's like, oh man, why have I got this itch? I need more nanas.
He doesn't like spike the salt with something, or he doesn't, spice the baby rays with something.
I think he might. It's almost like Krispy Kreme.
You never know, dude. I mean, you said the Nana spent some time, with his homies, so you never know.
He's got the good stuff, eh?
Mr. Carroll Science has a really good idea. He goes, maybe talk to Hooney and see if they will support your education in exchange for fixing all their problems.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Miso Hooney.
Oh, geez. Honestly, I'll put it this way. If I had time and I had the effort and I had the patience to do it, I definitely would love to be a consultant for 3D printing companies on how to fix issues like that. But then the problem is, when I've done consulting work like that for friends on projects and whatnot, sometimes it's kind of a waste of time because you tell them all kinds of great information and then nobody listens. Yeah, and it's like, great, why did I waste all my time on you? To be perfectly honest, and I don't say that to be insulting to anybody, but at the same time, it's like, if you're going to have somebody come on in and do consulting work, at least have the common decency to tell them it partway through you just have no intentions of using their advice. We'd much rather be told now than waste all our time. Just saying.
Have a good night, Skewed. Nice to see you in there.
Later.
Can't wait to see those Earth videos.
Oh man, that would be fun. I'll put it this way. One of these days, we got to hold C-Dub Rip Rap Fest. Got to happen. Got to make it happen. We totally got to upstage Matter Hackers in there. Events. We're going to totally hold it. I'm going to have more room in the garage here shortly. So, anybody want to road trip to my place and hold the very first ever C-Dub Maker Fest?
C-Dub Maker Fest.
This is really funny to do, actually. And my friend Jen over here to talk about, crafting, sewing stuff. This is gonna be really tight, actually. Be lit.
A whole bunch of power cords out so we can do it outside.
Just string a bunch of power cords in the backyard, into the jungle. No big deal. That would be fun, though.
We'll probably post a lot of short, stupid little cell phone videos up on the way up and back. Hey, don't knock those cell phone videos. I did cell phones for, 2 years?
I still film with the 3rd-gen GoPro. Not the equivalent of a cell phone as far as I'm concerned.
I still film all my time lapses with a cell phone.
I use a $60 knockoff camera for most of my time lapses just because it keeps the GoPro free.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, part of me has decided with this whole really cheap filming episode, part of me is just like, well, buy an unlocked cell phone on eBay. Done. But then again, part of me is like, no, I actually want to try and have it with an action camera and a separate audio recorder for people who maybe are doing things like rock climbing or mountain biking or things like that, where they can't use their cell phone for obvious reasons to film it along with whatever they're doing. So I'm still working on that, but I've been kind of hiccuped by the fact that it takes for things to come from China, and the fact that a couple of the things that have come in have not been to the par of caliber of what I need. So I'm still working on that, but we'll get there eventually.
Mr. Carol Science says Quirf is coming to Phoenix in 2019.
Yay!
Quirf.
Calvin Wet Rep Rap Festival. I mean, duh. I am working on that. Mr. Carol Science says, make some videos that show off your equipment used for filming videos. Definitely. And here's a cool thing. Sometime in the future, Danielle's going to Europe with a friend of hers, and she's given me permission when she comes back to allow me to not only to document editing the footage, because it's a really good example to show how I can take footage that I've never seen before in my life, have absolutely no clue what it is. I mean, I might have seen photos from the trip and stuff. No clue what the heck it is, but then she can tell me, okay, this is what I want. We can sit down, we can edit it, but I can show you guys how I do editing, but the only catch is I have no clue what the heck it is. You know.
Robot says, how do you film your own camera? Mirror. You see it all the time. Selfie.
No, I actually have the magic of like a bunch of cameras. I was actually going to do that. But what I was thinking is I'll just use, when I go to film my GoPro rig, I'll just stick in one of my knockoff cameras and just plug a cable into fake the setup that I use for Maker Faire. Or I'll just film it down at my parents' house where I've got my other GoPro that my sister has that I can borrow, but we'll figure it out.
Tinker's saying, where's Giggles? The Gigglesaurus.
Dude, you
That's
seriously,
so wrong.
You need to modify that thing and then put in a looping soundtrack of you giggling, and then every time somebody shakes it, it giggles. Oh, dude, that thing would be great. Put in a motion detector. Every time you walk by, it giggles at you. Yes, kid, you officially have another hammer. I have handed out, that wrench. I have handed out 2 wrenches tonight, one to Wellbot and one to Keg. Enjoy your wrench.
My goodness, you're handing out wrenches like crazy. This is almost like Oprah. You get a wrench, and you get a wrench.
Hey, just remember, I have the right to revoke wrenches at any time that I feel fit.
Hey, Oprah didn't do that.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not Oprah. I'm cranky C-Dub right now because I'm in pain. So, duh.
Take some pain pills, man.
If I took pain pills, you would.
Or better yet, do it the natural way. Use the magical herb, man.
Hey, you know what? If I took pain pills, you'd be watching an hour and a half of me snoozing on my keyboard.
Drilling all over yourself.
It would be ugly, and I know I'm not going to put you guys through that. But yeah, no, that's kind of the gist of what's up. And on a more positive note, on Wednesday, the high-speed video of me building the little Science Channel STEM robot thingy goes live on my YouTube channel. It's pretty fail. It's pretty simple. It's just a little geared motor and then a battery pack, and then the legs move like that. But it's fun. And the thing that I liked about the video is it was a father and daughter, you know, building a simple project, and they were using popsicle sticks and hot glue and tape and stuff, and that's all well and good. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? In a classroom setting, let me see if I can find a way to make this 3D printed one so an instructor can very easily print out or, send out to have a whole batch of parts made, different legs, you got the same chassis, so that way assembly time is reduced and testing time is increased. So I've already got the file up for that on my Thingiverse page if you guys go and look for it. And I've already got some views on the video because it's currently unlisted, but I need to work on finishing that up before I'm out of town, but that should be a fun project.
Yeah, it should.
So we'll see. But yeah. So that's fun. So what's new with you besides Geekosaurus?
I just been pulling my hair out trying to get things going up there, trying to get things to run right, but you figure out slowly but surely until you get more help, it ain't going to happen.
I feel you.
I finally got a couple people that applied, so hopefully I can get at least one of the positions filled. That'll make a huge difference.
That's cool. No, I genuinely wish you the best on that one.
Yeah, I mean, we're making our day more often. It started out by just making one day a week where we're actually making our numbers. And then the last 2 weeks, we've hit it 3 times in a week.
Oh, nice.
So
that's good.
It's slowly building back up.
So Wellbot was wondering if the robot works. So I'm going to now use my piece of 60,000 titanium to demonstrate the walking robot. Yes, Wellbot, he walks. It's actually really fun to play with. I got to admit, I went outside and filmed a few cell phone videos with it. And like, this thing's actually really fun to play with, even though it just goes dum, 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 down the sidewalk. The fun thing is I made a version with 1 leg, 3 legs, 6 legs, and I also released the Fusion file with it as well. And I'll talk about how to, modify the design for the legs and build your own and things like that in a separate video. But the idea is it's a good little fun project getting people into 3D printing and little making projects, that's just fun,
What he's not telling everybody is that he spends most of the time laying down on the bed and letting it crawl up him.
No. I think it would actually fall over because I tried to make it climb through the flowers in the front yard, and it just went donk and it fell over. And I'm like, okay, that's done. But I do want to put it where the legs are wider.
Tinker says back massage.
Yes,
Robot mini massager.
Oh, you guys are bad. No, so this is the design of it. The motor actually, let me just pop it out so you guys can get an idea. Yeah, that's the whole point, Alkish, is to make it so that way. I designed it with basic legs, but I'm also going to design up a simple, oops, crack the frame. Oh, well.
Oh, you did not.
I can build another. That's the beauty of it. But actually, it's handy because on the side of the motor here is this little plastic nub that's only on one side. So I actually designed the part, and I'm going to probably modify the design a little bit, but you see that hole in there? That is what the motor would lock into, so you didn't have to use the adhesive to hold the motor in. So if for whatever reason you want to change chassis, you can do that. But I'm thinking I'm going to make a half-depth slot right there so you can slide it in easier without breaking it. But then the battery pack is just foam taped on top, and then this is just a little drag wheel in the back. But the idea is I was going to design up just some basic hubs that, you can stick whatever on, and you can change up the direction of the legs. Really the point is you can either make it where the kids have to design their own legs for it, or they, are given the design and then they can, gang them up together into a mega machine if they want to. It really is one of those sky's the limit sort of things. You can test leg designs. You can test, all kinds of different stuff. But the idea is just to make it as simple as possible and then go from there. So, and the other thing that I thought would be hilarious to do would be to make one with like flexible legs just to see what the heck it did.
That'd be cool.
The idea is just make it an open-ended project. Make it into something where anybody can take the original design and then just go hog wild with the thing for all I care. And my only request is that you just don't sell the design files for the thing. And if you make a cool modification, please make a remix of it and throw that in there. So it pretty much just becomes like this. And I'm probably going to do the same for myself, make like a dual motor version, so you could hook it up with like a light sensor or something and make it a light tracking robot. The idea is the sky's the limit, but you can make it as simple or as complex as you want and really explore a lot of scientific stuff with it while having a darn fun time in the process.
Like Mr. Carroll Science said, make a part on Tinkercad that has the hub for the motor or whatever, and they can drag and drop parts. Can't you in Fusion 360 take the main parts and take it, convert it over to Tinkercad?
I think you can do that. And if I can't, I'll see if I can't learn basic Tinkercad to do something like that, to create it. Because I released the Fusion files for it because I figured the frame itself is something very basic. And in there's also the files for the legs and stuff. But yeah, if somebody can Tinkercad the files, or if I can't do it myself, I'll look into doing that because I'm gonna have some time.
Actually, download your main file or whatever the main file is for that, and then upload it to Tinkercad.
Okay, and then automatically
you can do whatever you want with it.
Perfect. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because I want to slightly refine the files. It's one of those cases if you can just sit there and dink around with things for eons. But the idea is I tried to make the overall design as simple and as cheap and fast. That was the other key point, as fast to build as possible. So if an instructor did have to print out, say, 25 of them for a class, it wasn't going to take 10 years because they're printing out a bunch of useless stuff. It was just boom, 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 boom. Tried to made it so you don't need any support material. You get that idea.
Yeah.
Mr. Carroll Science says the only problem I see is being able to print all the pieces for all your students. I have 150 to 180, holy crap, dude, students and only 2 printers. Well, here's the idea. This would be a group project in that case. You have, say, groups of 4, 5, 6, whatever mathematically works out the best, working together on the project if you can't get all the pieces done. But, that's part of the reason why I designed the parts to be printed as fast as you can, is so that way it's just boom, 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 and then you're on to the next one. And also making it small so that the print volume that's used up is minimal. In case you have a small machine or you have a large machine, you can ram as many parts in there. But if you guys do build one, please, please, please tag me in the post at Make It With Cal. And at some point in the future, I want to do a follow-up video where if you guys have videos of it or you have photos of it, I can put together like a combined drive account that you guys can just drop off all that stuff into. I can give you guys some credit for it if you want, because I think that'd be cool to show how it's a community project, if you will, that started out as a video that I saw and then went from there.
Mr. Carroll Science counting on Jimmy's giveaway.
Never know. Hey, I'll put it this way, Mr. Carroll Science. It wouldn't be a bad idea to potentially reach out to, companies and be like, hey, I'm a teacher at a school, and I was wondering, do you guys have the ability to donate a machine for educational use? You never know. Some companies might actually be more than willing to donate a machine to a cause like that, or they might have an older machine where it's like, hey, we got this older machine, but if you want it, you can have it. I mean, I know Printerbot did that with their Adopt-A-Bot, where it was pretty much like you just bought at cost. I think it was the box full of parts, and then you printed up the components and then donated it to the school, which is a really cool idea.
Mr. Carol Science says, plus ordered a Ender 3. Should I do a live build? Yes.
Yes, definitely. And please, if you're gonna have any sparks like Jimmy, yell really loud, and then I'll come running so I can yell like, "Oh!" Shoot, I mean, he just said there's a mine in his town that gives $500 mini grants to schools. You could order 2 Ender 3s for that. Yeah, honestly, if you could, I'll put it this way: being that now 3D printing is becoming like the photocopier of the last decades, or it's the Apple computer of the Apple One of the last few decades. It would be it wouldn't be a bad idea if it was a decent machine to get 2 more of them in there, and then maybe for the kids who really know what they're doing, hey, here, dude, here's Tinkercad. Wanted to design up some custom parts for the robot. Oh my gosh, yeah! You never know. It's right. I feel like the biggest hurdle to 3D printing in schools being implemented, besides people's lack of knowledge of designing or thinking it's really difficult and it's not, is just a lack of equipment to do the work on. Or in his case, he has equipment, but it's the time and production limitations. There's things like that.
Right.
Yeah, Tinker Sparks is like really fun when that happens, except when it's your equipment that's throwing sparks, then it's not fun.
When you release the magic smoke, you only do it once.
Yeah, that's the really sucky part about the magic smoke, is it doesn't go back into the object and come back out again. Once it's out, you're done. I still vote we should make a well-bought gnome. That would be awesome.
Yes.
Yes. We need a well-bought gnome. If you guys haven't seen, I think it's Alkish one who's been doing some ridiculous. Are you the one who's doing the really cool models with the proto gnome, like Murnome and the other ones? I think it's him. They are absolutely awesome. When I get the time, I am dying to print some.
So Tinker said, no kidding, did that to my palette. Oh, man.
Oh, dude, that moment of silence for that. That is sad.
Now it gets to go back to Canada, eh?
So enjoy maple syrup.
Oh, that's worse than saying, hey, dude. A friend of mine up at Sears, he's from Canada. So I said, can you do me a favor? He's like, what's that? I said, can you say about? He says, I'll kick you straight in the... Like, come on. I just want to hear you say it. A boot.
I'm oot of here, Jamie. I am oot. How do you know somebody's Canadian in 3 seconds? If they use the letter O and it goes, ooh, you're like, okay, you're Canadian. Or if you want to really mess with your friends, you start talking like a Canadian, eh? Oh, gosh.
Of course, I started in on them about the, on South Park, they always say there's only one road in Canada and all that. I started all of that. He's like, I will beat you up. Stop it.
I love it on South Park how everybody who's Canadian, like their whole head moves like this.
That's so wrong.
Every time Ike is talking, so we got practical printing in the house. What did you miss? Well, there's suspected metal particles floating around in my knee. They think there's a growth in my knee, and my knee's trying to do what happened to Simone Yurts, but I don't think it's anywhere near that extreme. And I got accepted into the industrial design program at SF State. So there's a recap.
So good news and bad news.
Yeah, good news and bad news. But you know what? You gotta take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know when the doctor suggested an MRI, the doctor suggested an MRI on my knee. I'm like, that is not a bad idea because I've not had one in about 3 or 4 years. And even if it's just to track the progress of my knee, I'm like, it's not a bad idea to go in there and get one, just so in case, you know, there's anything going on in there, kind of like what popped up this time that was, you know, not noticeable before. It's not a bad idea for tracking purposes, you know, just in case there is something major going on in there, you know.
Okay, wait a minute here. Tinker said also buffet night at Round Table Pizza. They did away with that here. They still have it up there?
I will not say on live stream the reason why I think that happened, but I have a theory, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to come across as like, you know, Jimmy knows what I mean.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So Mr. Carroll Science asked, what's a good time to do a live stream of a printer build?
It all depends on what audience you want to catch. If you want to catch an audience here in the United States, you got to do it during the day. If you want to catch an audience over in Europe, you definitely want to do it at night.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I don't know. I would do it usually sometime like start around like 9 or 10 in the morning on a weekend, like a Saturday or a Sunday, preferably a Saturday actually. Only because Sundays people seem to either sleep in or they're off at church or they're off with family. You're better off doing it that way. And then that way, just in case the stream goes on for a long time, you're not starting it at noon and ending it at 8. You're, you know, starting at 9 and ending it at 3 or 4. You've also got that time in there as well, because when you go to do something on a live stream, you got to take the time it takes and like triple it. There's a reason why. It's because you're on chat, you're talking to everybody, you run into an issue, you're waiting for them to get back to you, you're chit-chatting with everybody. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but it takes extra time to, you know, chat, talk to people, figure things out, got set up for it. Just keep that in mind when you're doing it. That's the reason why I don't live stream a lot of projects. I just don't have the time.
Build up the hype on Twitter and the week leading up to it. That's a great idea right there.
Very good idea, because honestly, for people like me who are ridiculously busy, we'll forget, and it's no fault of anybody. It's just life gets busy, and you set a notification, and then YouTube decides, I'm not going to post that notification to your thing until after the stream happens. And you're like, thanks.
Mr. Carroll Science says he only has 3 Twitter followers. Just when you tweet, let me and Calvin know. We'll retweet it.
Yeah, once you get that retweet thing going, it's just like, just because you don't have a lot of followers doesn't mean that you can't get a lot of retweets and a lot of coverage.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do about getting Joel to retweet.
Dude, you start retweeting things enough times. Well, shoot, here's a good example of things going crazy. My friend Jen that I know from CCSF's fashion program, we met on Twitter, long story, blah, blah, blah. She was up in the Portland, Seattle area over the weekend with her sister, and knowing that Tinkers knows the area well, she's all like, oh, does anybody know anything good to do out here? So I tagged Keith, and I'm like, hey, you know, do you know of anything? You're in the area. He goes, oh, yeah. So it's like firing off great ideas and stuff. And the next thing I know, like she posted a photo of the Skywheel thing out there, and then Joel's commenting on it, and I'm like, what? How is this happening? This is awesome. So there's a good example of you never know where a little thing might lead on Twitter. So I'm just using that as an example of don't think that, oh, because I have a really small follower base, I'm not going to get any retweets. No. If you get 1 or 2 people retweeting something, it's going to show up on multiple people's streams. You get the idea. It snowballs.
Mr. Carroll Science has been so excited about the 3D printing professor's dinosaur thing. I have no idea what it is at all, but what it's all about. There's just so much hype. Yeah. I'm interested to see what the actual Kickstarter is going to be.
Ditto that.
Is he going to be printing them, or is he just selling the files?
I don't know all the details of it, but I would think one. I'm assuming one using an example of the Kickstarter that backed a long time ago for a hover bike thing. One of the Kickstarter packages was you could buy, and it was only like £5, £5, which is only like three something, and our dollar reduced to get this model of this like 1/10 scale like action figure dude that could fit like a GoPro in his head. Sure, I am totally gonna do that. You know, it was like the very first or second Kickstarter thing I ever backed was that. And there were different tiers, but that was like one of like that was like the second to lowest or lowest one, and that's what I wanted. So that's what I got. So I'm thinking one of the tiers would probably be the files, maybe some printed ones, but it kind of sounds like he's also maybe making a movie out of it too or something. So I think part of it is like a GoFundMe to, fund the thing. Then part of it is promoting his models, which, seems interesting. And correct me if I'm wrong. I am just speculating on all this. I do not know all the details. So yeah, like Alex says, he hasn't released it yet, so it's pretty unknown. But I'm thinking that's probably the way the tier structure is going to be.
Chris says he loves to see a low poly Pixar movie.
Well, here's the thing I find funny is animation has gone from the olden days of, the claymation and the hand-drawn stuff to the ridiculously high-tech stuff that we have now. And then the irony is we're now trying to emulate the old style of animation using all of our modern technology. It's funny how it goes, like everybody's striving to make it super realistic. We get it super realistic, and we're like, nah, we like the old style better. You get what I mean.
The Lego movie was amazingly well done. Yes, it was.
I still need to see that because Danielle keeps tormenting me, as well as Daniel Naray with everything is awesome.
What, the Lego movie?
Yeah, I haven't seen the Lego movie yet. Hey, I saw Jurassic Park on Rabbit Ears and UHF Coil the other night because I was channel flipping and I saw it. And I had to tweet out to Ali Reber, aka Robot Maker, go like, "Hey, Jurassic Park is on TV. Should I sit here and watch it?" And she's like, "Yeah, duh." Okay, I only saw about. I gotta admit, I missed the beginning of it, and I only saw about half of it in bits and pieces because I was in and out of the kitchen. It was a cool movie. It wasn't exactly my style, but it was still fun to watch. So don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I'm just not someone who like sits there forever and watches movies for some reason.
I'm going to say something completely unpopular. The newer ones are better.
I'll put it this way: I give them credit for the practical and special effects and probably CGI work they did back in the day on it, because it was impressive. I got to admit, considering what they had back in the '90s when they made that, very well done. Especially for its time. But with anything, it's one of those cases of as time goes on, the viewership changes and all that stuff. So,
What's that guy's name that now he does commercials for hotels or renting apartments or something like that? That he was in the original ones, and then I think he's going to be in the newest one that's coming out.
I have absolutely no clue.
He was on that movie with Will Smith, Independence Day.
I haven't seen that one, so I wouldn't know.
Why do I even talk to you?
Yeah, I know.
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, I can't stand that guy.
Mr. Carroll Science says, "I love Jurassic World, although you would think they would realize cloning dinosaurs is a bad idea." Well,
you think I'd get after the first one.
Well, here's one of the points that, a couple of little caveats that I found interesting. Considering that they have remote working stuff like what they use in hot cells for nuclear power plants and whatnot, and they have telepresence stuff, it would be interesting. I mean, if they were doing it on a completely isolated island where the people were on a different one, that is one thing. It's like floating in the middle of the ocean.
Pterodactyls fly, dude. Okay,
well, I'm not saying they're doing pterodactyls. I'm saying they're doing like Gigglesaurus or something like that. I don't think Gigglesaurus. You don't
think this thing can swim across to another island? I might have a hard time with them little tiny arms.
Oh, yeah, you answered your own question, but you get the point. The point I'm trying to make is if you do something like that, you have a lot of safeguards in place. Not like we're going to put a bunch of people on an island with some really grouchy programmer guy who holds the whole island in his hand and then gets like really irritated one day and just like crashes the whole system. But the thing that I found interesting is being that all the dinosaurs were clones of each other means that if there was any genetic defect, any disease or resistance that did not exist for them or something, it would only take very little to literally just wipe the whole population out. Because if there's a disease that's going to affect one, odds are it's probably just going to kill them all.
Just him with an asteroid. It'll be all over.
Yeah, I think we would be too.
When I saw the title of the stream, I thought we were talking about big printed stuff. What is the title of the stream? I didn't even look.
Oh, geez. It was like talking big stuff and things.
Coming up for me. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's when I thought that you're going to make your announcement, about this weekend, about that you're going to star in the parade.
My mom is watching this stream right now, right?
Is she?
She texted me like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm streaming right now." Oh, okay, I'm gonna go watch the stream. And I'm like, "Oh, great."
Mrs. Witt, I hate to inform you about your son. I'm kidding.
Oh gosh, I'm surprised she still likes you. Okay, great.
That Jimmy guy's a bad influence on you, Calvin. Horrible influence.
Oh, this is the kind of therapy I need.
Got you going into the parade this weekend up there. My goodness.
I probably won't even be in town. So Wellbot said, all this talk of Gigglesaurus, motion sensors, and gnomes, it just reminded me I gave my dad a motion sensing farting gnome years ago. Dude, that is awesome. That is seriously awesome.
We gotta see a picture of that. Post it.
Yeah, now that you have your magical wrench. That is epic. Oh my god. Oh, it's great.
Oh goodness. Take care, Chris. Thank you for joining.
Have a good one, dude. Thanks for popping by.
Okay, I need to head back off to work. What, Sage?
Yeah.
All and remember, friends, don't let friends do drugs. Just look at what happened to these two.
This is Jimmy going to Nana's too many times. This is me going down to the corner market and not getting enough PB&Js in my life.
Yeah, let's just face this, the magical herb, man.
How big did you get at the last concert you went to on the weekend, dude?
Actually, last concert I went to, I didn't smell anything. That was sad.
I still love you telling the story of going to the concert where you just got super baked, and you're telling the story to my mom, and her eyes are like, and she's like, and this dude like pulls out this note, he like lights it in his fingers, you know, like.
Okay, I'll tell the story. I've never told the story on the stream before. So we went to this up in San Jose. They used to have during race week. Remember when they used to have the race cars go around once a year? They'd shut down the main streets in San Jose, and they'd have the F1 cars come in.
I never went, but I've seen events like that on TV.
Okay, so they go and they get all set up, and they have a race. Well, I think it's the week leading up to it. They used to have the concert in the park. Or no, it wasn't for a week. It was like for a month. But it was around that time they would have this concert in this main park right in the middle of downtown San Jose. And so this one time we found out that Greg Kinn band was going to be there. It's like, okay, well, let's go see it. So we go there, and there's all these people. We get there pretty close to the front of the stage. We're not far away from them. And there's this guy comes up, backpack on, really, pretty good sized guy. This guy weighed probably 280, 230, almost 300 pounds, but he was tall. He's a big guy. Yeah, great kid. Yeah, yeah. And just hopping around and acting the fool, right? And so I'm watching this guy, and this time I was in loss prevention. So it's like you learn who to kind of watch. And it's like, okay, what's this guy's angle? So the cops, they all start like, oh my God. And I say it looking away. All of a sudden he's like, hey guys, you want to buy some? And he's a drug dealer. And he's selling weed to everybody around us, right? So here, me and Beth are right here in front of the stage, all these people around us. They all pull out these anodized aluminum machined pipes. I mean, the nicest looking pipes you've ever seen in your life. And they took these little nugs, they stick them in there and light them up. And here they were, everybody around us. I'm not just talking one or two. I'm talking everywhere I look. There's like 5 or 6 guys right next to us, all smoking this, right? This guy turns around to the stage when Greg Kidden gets up on the stage. He goes, Greg Kidden, yeah. Pulls out this nug that's this big, lights it with a cigarette lighter in his fingers. He goes, Greg Kidden, yeah. Sucks the smoke off of this nug. There was no breeze whatsoever. By the time he finished the concert, which was, I think he got on stage about 8 o'clock. He gets off stage at about 10:30. They actually turned off the lights to make him leave because he kept on just doing encores. They get him off the stage finally. We all take off. We go back to the car. I sit down in the car. I look over at Beth and said, I'm sorry, I can't drive right now. And she goes, why not? I said, I kid you not. It's like I'm looking through a pipe. I had tunnel vision. I sat there for 30 minutes before my vision cleared up to where I could drive. I didn't smoke anything. It straight up was just contact.
Hey, high enough concentration will do that to you.
Oh my goodness. But man, the next day I had no back pain whatsoever.
I always like to tease him with how many munchie meals did he order at the local Jack in the Box.
See, I'm trying to remember. I know on the way home, I know we did stop off somewhere and we ate because there's we were hungry. But it was this milk pen. I put it into my lips, but I did not inhale. No, I didn't put it to my lips. I didn't have to put anything in my lips. All I had to do is just go, can you smell it? You got kind of do the Rock, can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
It's like something out of a Dave Chappelle skit, practically. I mean, it's one of those things you can't make up.
Honestly, it was the funniest thing ever. Looking back on it, was way funnier than it was at the time.
I just find it funny because you're a non-drug using, non-drinking person, and you just get absolutely baked secondhand. Jimmy's only experience with drugs is at a concert, and it wasn't firsthand.
I took it over at Shoreline Amphitheater. When we go there, now it's Shoreline Amphitheater. For those who don't know, it sets right inland from the bay. It's pretty much the San Francisco Bay curves back down almost to San Jose, but not quite. How far down does it come? Do you know? I know it comes past Moffett Field.
Yeah, San Francisco Bay ends around the Newark area because you got those big old salt marshes. If you're flying into Oakland Airport, you go over them usually. Yeah, that's if you're coming from Southern California. So yeah, it's around the Newark area and Mountain View, where Shoreline is about.
It comes just short of that. Was it the 238? Is it that crosses over between the 101 and the 280?
think it's the 237, but I know that'll take you from 101 into Milpitas.
Milpitas, that's right. Over to the 880. That's where it comes into.
Yeah, because there's two directions. One that takes you to 880, and one of them that takes you to
the 101.
Yeah, because I used to work in Milpitas by the Great Mall, so I'm really familiar with the 101 to the 237 interchange.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the bay comes down just short of that. It's just like right over the hill from it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so we're set fairly close to the ocean, so there is a possibility if you get in the fog, kind of comes in. So I don't know how many times I've been at Shoreline and I'll be watching a concert and all of a sudden it's like, wow, the fog's coming in. Oh wow. Oh wait a minute. It's not the fog. And you look down because we'll be up in the grass and you'll see little puffs of smoke coming up and just collecting to where it's just an inversion layer of weed. I think Calvin had to go do something.
Hi, I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah, almost back.
Did I hear the toilet flush?
Plead the fifth on that one.
Huh?
I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth.
I
plead the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh man.
Are you ready?
What was that?
Are you ready?
Ready for what?
Go to bed.
Yeah, probably pretty soon. I'm crashing fast. I've just been running around like crazy, and then with the doctor thing coming up next week, I've got to get ready for that. And I'm just like, ugh.
So what time? What day is your appointment?
Monday. It's in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. Not totally sure what the outcome of that's going to be, but we'll see what the doc says, and I'll keep you guys posted, because the thing is, with the school thing starting up and then still having to move stuff, it's, unless it's like something where the doctor's like, we need to operate on this like right now, Colin, I'll be like, okay. It's a little bit tricky to figure out when, if, that whole thing, so we'll see.
Yeah. He'll let me know what's going on. We'll figure out what we're going to do next week.
Yeah, sounds good. And
take your laptop with you. Make sure that the hospital that you go to has got Wi-Fi.
We'll make sure to
we'll have you with a morphine button.
We'll just get like Danielle or somebody to like sit in here for me to be like, yeah, my name's Calvin. What's up?
Yeah, I can see Danielle there. Bump, bump, bump. Well, you said it's every 5 minutes? Okay.
or no. She'll be like, do you need that morphine, Calvin? Do you really need it? Nah. I'll make you go to 6 minutes.
Hold it right out of the reach of you where you can't poke it.
Gosh.
Oh man.
No.
Oh, my friend, let's go ahead and call it.
All right. Well, thanks again to everybody who jumped in here. It was a fun stream as always. Jimmy sharing his wonderful weed stories. No. Yeah, gangsta. No, it was good hanging out with you guys as always. Like I said, I'll keep you guys posted with everything. Not exactly sure, like I said, what my future uploading schedule will be like, but I'm going to see what I can do to keep stuff going. And I was going to ask, has your giveaway ended yet, or is it still going?
Still going until I'm going to pick a winner on July 1st.
Dang. Oh, whoa. That's a long time.
Yeah, I figure I'll let this one roast for a little while.
No, it's not a bad idea, because it is a pretty big giveaway. You don't want to just be like, oh, done. Which reminds me.
I should have just picked out 3 people who are already subscribed and say, okay, you win, and you win.
Yeah, but then people would potentially accuse you of being biased in doing that.
I know. That's the reason why I decided to just go ahead and let it ride.
No, it's not a bad idea. But I was going to say, hopefully at some point I can do my 2K giveaway, and I keep feeling horrible that it's been forever, and I just have not had time to do it. But the honest reality is, I have not had time to do it. I mean, I'm lucky to find time to go to bed, brush my teeth, and shoot a video, at this point. So, but I do want to do that soon before the CNC machine moves out of here, because there is some stuff that I really want to try and get done on that for the 2K giveaway. So we'll see.
I'm going to be honest with you. This right here, it's the first thing I've printed in what, 2 weeks? That's unheard of for me. Usually I try to print something like 2 or 3 times a week. Even stuff I don't even do videos on. A lot of times I'll print something up, and I just have not had the time.
No, I hear you. My Moai has been like an absolute workhorse of a machine ever since I got back, because I'm doing some resin prints for a friend for a project he's working on. But I haven't posted photos of the prints just because I don't want any potential issues. I don't think he would care if I put them up, but I've been too busy. But I did get a new lighting setup installed in there, which you guys may or may not have seen on Twitter. And I'm running a test print tonight of some detail parts for myself. And I'm going to see if that turns out good. And I finally get done tweaking with my model that I want to print. I will shoot a time lapse of that, which will probably be about a 12 to 14 hour long print. That'll look really cool because of the lighting inside, the print going out of the resin vat. So we'll see.
This girl science that school got out and suddenly I have no time either. What happened? I know exactly what you mean.
Ditto to that. I thought, oh, school ends. I'm going to have some free time. No.
Hey, quick question to everybody that's in the chat still. So what was it? A week and a half ago, I took a trip, just an impromptu trip over to Yosemite. And we actually went over Tioga Pass and went to Mono Lake. Anybody want to see a vlog video on that? Okay. I didn't get a whole lot of the Mono Lake though, but I got some pretty good scenery on the way.
Shoot, I'm always down for any trip vlogish stuff that you do. It's honestly it's fun because it's something different, and let's face it, it's just cool. I mean,
I honestly forgot how far over that was. When you get on Tioga Pass, I don't know if you've been on Tioga Pass before, right?
I've been to Yosemite before via the bus from Merced.
Oh, then you haven't been on this part. So Tioga Pass, the 120 actually starts like way over by Manteca, but there's a point where it turns in the middle of the park and it turns toward going almost a straight line toward Nevada. I forgot how long it takes to drive from that gas station there at that corner and to get to Mono Lake. I kept thinking less than an hour. Wrong. It's like an hour and a half drive.
Kind of like me thinking that it was really fast to get to Vegas.
Yeah, it was like 60 miles one way. And the thing is, it's not the type of roads where you can go 65 mile an hour. It's like 50 and 55 mile an hour most all the way. And I forgot all about it because it's been probably like 10 years since I've been there. And it's like, man, I look back at that. It's like, man, it didn't seem like it took that long when I was younger. We got home like almost at midnight that night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was toasted when we got home that night.
Because wait, Yosemite is still a good like 2 hours from you guys, at least, I think.
Closer to 3. It's about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on traffic, which isn't bad. I mean, to think that Yosemite is that close to us, that's not bad.
It's about, I think, because it's about 2 hours for me to get from where I live to you. I'm about 4 to 5 hours from Yosemite, driving wise. So yeah. Although I do know somebody who absolutely loves going to Yosemite and has been there once, and next time if she's up in the area and if we had time, I'd love to go to Yosemite, just saying.
Okay. I'm all for that.
He is like completely jealous that has the lifetime pass thingy with the National Park Service. She's like, how the heck do you get that?
Do you know how much that pass costs now?
Oh, I think we talked about it a while ago. It's it's one of those things like where I said it's like if you're one of those people who can go to like the national parks on the weekend or something, it's worth it. But otherwise, it's like, oh.
So back when she turned 62, I think it was when they offered it to her. We were over in Colorado. We stopped off at the National Monument there, and at that time, the way that this is how the guy at the desk worded it. He said, "By showing us your ID that you're 62 years old, and for $10, you get a lifetime pass." Okay, done. Here's $10. Here's a license. Everything's good, right? Get the card. We were at Yosemite going through going through the gate the other day. Now to buy that same pass is $80.
Dang.
But when you consider it costs like $40 to get into Yosemite for a week.
Yo, yeah, and honestly, it's kind of like a membership to a science center. It's like I went to the Tech Museum of Innovation in San Jose about a year and a half ago, and to get the membership for a year was like 10 or 15 bucks more than just getting 2 adult tickets to get in there. So my mom decided, here, you have to go more. That's cool. If not, no big deal. And the killer was I wasn't able to go back at all. So it was like 10 or 15 buck donation to them. Woohoo, great. Now that I don't have as much going on, part of me is debated going back there and getting the membership for myself because it would be fun to go. It's just I never had the time to go in the past because I was constantly, dealing with grandma and stuff and things like that. So but yeah. But there's a good example of where a membership might not be so worth it, but for some people it is,
Well, we better go.
You better go. I'm tired.
When you get a chance, can you pop in the link to the dinosaur?
Yeah.
At least to his mailing list?
Uno segundo, I can do that.
Okay. But yeah, if you haven't already, please go over and check out 3D Printing Professor. Check out his Kickstarter. Is going to be starting up soon for this. He's got a mailing list. If you go click on it, put in your email address, and then he'll let you know as soon as it goes live. Then we'll get to see exactly what in the world it is.
Yeah, just give me a second finding the link. I found it. There. Copied and pasted.
Ooh. Low poly dinos. Yeah, if you can just pop that in your in the video description at the end.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining. It's a pleasure as always, and we will see you next week over on my channel, and we'll have to see what's going on with Calvin at that point. See whether he's still upright or if he's going to be in the hospital bed at that point, recovering from surgery.
Honestly, the on next Tuesday, I'm going to be down filming with Ashley from Chip Build, so I don't know if I'll actually be home in time to stream or not on Tuesday, but I'll keep you posted. So we might have to bump the stream to Monday if that works for you.
Yeah, that'd probably work.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll have to start calling up people, see if I can get them to come in to help out. Jerry, call me.
Oh, Angus.
Do you realize if I ever get Jerry to pop on here, I don't know, Calvin.
Hey. I got to meet Jerry too, and you know what? I gave him a Red Bull, and I think he liked me for it. Did you do that? No, you did not. I win.
So you did get a sugar daddy.
No. Although the funny thing though was when I met him, his buddy Jason, who goes by Zachariah, instantly recognizes her. Hey, it's a dude. I'm like, it's a dude.
Yes, Jerry could be dangerous.
No,
he might lose all my subscribers for me. We do know what would be said. We know what would be said. It'd be ladies.
We all know that stream would be labeled 18 plus NSFW done.
Okay, guys, thank you much. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
See you sometime next week. Have a good one.